here from Peach Software again. Coming up to the end of the financial year now, and you may want to assess your stock and perhaps reduce the value of the stock that's either dead or slow moving. And so I'm just going to show you a couple of ways that you can filter and tag that stock and then make your adjustments. So before we start, I'd suggest you do a backup. As you know, the workstation backup is very effective. You can do it from the admin menu, and you can back up to the server, which just makes a copy of it on the server, or you can back up to the workstation you're working from. So either of those are good. Back up to the server is probably easier if, in case you need to restore the backup, it's a much faster option. So anyway, moving on. First of all, what we'll do is we'll open up the product control screen. We'll just go forward to the first product, and you may want to identify a couple of fields that you can use to tag the slow moving products. So in my case, I might use the code field, or I might use the brand, or I could use, for example, the category. Any of these, if you're not using them already, we could use them for this purpose. And it's only temporary, so they can go back to being used for something else if that's the need. So anyway, so I'm going to use code field in this case. So first of all, we'll go through and we'll clear all the code field entries. So bulk change, go into the product table, and we're not going to set any filters because we want to change the entire database, and we want to set the code field to blank. Oops, blank, there we go. Confirm that we want to make that change and click OK, and that takes a couple of moments. It will go through your entire product file and it'll set the product code field to blank, and that way we can then move on with creating a tag for the slow moving stock. So that's finished now, so all the code fields will be blank. Alright, so how are we going to decide what's slow or dead stock? So one option is to go to last sale date, and instead of having to look through all the fields, you can just start typing L sale date, there it is there, enter, and we'll say where the last sale date is before, which is the less than sign, and we'll put in 2 years prior to today's date for the database. You'll notice my test database is on the 13th of May 2016. So I'm going to put the 1st of May 2014, so anything that hasn't been sold for 2 years, and then I'm going to add to that last purchase date. There it is there. Anything before, and again the 1st of the 5th. There we go. And the other option, so that we don't bother any products that are not in stock, we'll select where in-stock quantity is greater than or less than 0. So if it's 0 stock, it won't bother it and it won't list it. If it's got stock or minus stock, then it's going to bring it out on our report for us later on. So, and then we're going to set, so these are the conditions, and we're going to set our code field. We're not going to set it to blank. We're going to set that to equal, let's just call it old, and then confirm, OK, and that's completed. So that's gone through all the products that have not been sold, not been purchased in 2 years, and where they do have some stock. So let's have a look at that now. I'll just close that. And the best way to look at that is to go to product control and into the browse screen. And then we can choose to include code field. So if it's not ticket, we include code field on the report. We've got last modified. Maybe we have in-stock quantity. We've got that already. And perhaps we put in cost. So take our price A and put in average cost, which is the real cost of your product. Okay, and that fills in the fields. And then we can go into code field and we can put old, enter, and that filters it down to all the products that have now got old in the code field. So you can see there's 7 pages there, 697 items. So now the question is, how much do those items owe you? Now you can quickly go down and check through those if you like to see if there's anything you'd like not to be in that, and then you can edit it here. So you can actually change the field in here, and you can, let's say, delete it or leave it in and move through like that. And as you move down, you'll see the sales statistics happen down here. So you can browse through that if you like, but a 2-year range is pretty safe, so I'd say that we're pretty right on the money. Anyway, let's do a report now. So we go into reports, product reports, and I find the best report for this is product performance, because it's going to confirm that there's no statistics in the period, and it's also going to give you the value. So if I just go to report search and type in performance, there it is, product performance report, view that, and we're going to say where code field is old, and then we can open the report. And for this purpose again, you want all the details, so each product. So untick summary, that gives us 700 lines, and I would suggest you open it up in an Excel, because then you can sort it any way you like, from value to quantity to last sale date, all that sort of thing. So that goes into the report now, and you can see there's all your products. They're in groups. You can change that if you like. You can put it into groups, subgroups, by supply, anything you like, before when you open up the report. And there's all the transactions there. Let's have a look what the value is. So we'll just take this down to the bottom, and we can see the value is $26,000. So that's a nice lot of stock that's just sitting there, hasn't moved for 2 years, hasn't been purchased, hasn't been sold, just sitting on the shelf. And perhaps what your first step might be is to get that stock off the shelf, get it into a separate area, perhaps put it out on some specials bin, but certainly I'd consider writing down the value of that stock, because if you don't, you're going to be paying your tax on your company profit based on what you've got in stock. So by writing that stock down to its true value, which might only be very negligible, you're actually giving yourself a bit of a tax benefit. So I hope that helps. There are other ways of writing down the stock. You can call support if you want to find out perhaps a few ways, or if you want to change the formula to get more ideas about your stock and what you need to do as far as slow moving lines perhaps, then give Peach Support a call. Always welcome to assist. So thanks for watching, and I hope that helps. Thank you.